ranking every right fielder in Major League Baseball. Welcome back to day 8 of the 12 days of MLB rankings, where I go through every player from every team in every position and rank them from worst to best for the 12 days leading up to Christmas, where on Christmas Day I rank my top 50 players in Major League Baseball. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Click that subscribe button. Most of you watching aren't subscribed. I should see that sub number go up. But seriously, thank you guys for the amazing support. I really do appreciate it. Year after year, you watch these videos, despite some of my rankings being horrible at times. So seriously, thank you guys so much. Let's get to the right field rankings. Getting the right fielder rankings started at number 31, I've got Brooks Baldwin of the Chicago White Sox. Low-key, kind of like Brooks Baldwin as a player. I don't think he should be an everyday outfielder, but as a utility guy who can basically play every position on the field, I think he's valuable. And at the plate last year, he wasn't horrible. He was about a league average hitter, an OPS right around 700, 11 homers, 15 doubles, 38 RBIs with 5 stolen bases in 300 plate appearances, hit 240 with a 290 on base, 407 slug. Like I said, that OPS was right around league average, OPS plus at 93. Someone who in my rankings doesn't get the value he probably deserves on a ball club, because you have to be limited to one position for these. And unfortunately for Brooks Baldwin, that does put him at the bottom here at number 31. Next up at number 30, I've got Zach Veen of the Colorado Rockies. Veen, a former top 10 pick in the draft, he made his major league debut last season, only played in 12 games, and looked completely overmatched. Now, I do think Zach Veen is going to be a good player for the Rockies. Was a big fan of him coming out of the draft, and in the minors, he's hit pretty well. But, of course, because of the just complete and utter domination that happened to him at the major league level, can't really rank him that much higher. Just seemed really overpowered. Struck out almost 40% of the time in the 12 games he played. He did it a homer. He hit a double. He's a good athlete, and I think he'll be a pretty good outfielder. It's just we need to see a little bit more before I can rank him higher. Coming in at number 29, I've got Luis Matos of the San Francisco Giants. Luis Matos is a guy who every year I want to believe in more and more, but then I look at the numbers and it just doesn't really add up. While he did hit a ball harder than he ever has before last season, he put the ball in the air, he doesn't strike out. He weirdly does chase a lot, so the quality of his contact is not very consistent, and he doesn't really walk. Now, he has a cannon of an arm, but he's horrible in the outfield. He's just a bizarre player who I think still hasn't really quite figured out how to be a consistent guy at the major league level. I don't expect him to be the everyday right fielder for the Giants by opening day, but as of December 18th when I'm recording this, he's their option, and that's going to put him at number 29. Just not really a complete player yet. Like, the power numbers were good last year, 18 extra base hits in 57 games, but the slash line, again, put him at league average with bad defense. Next up, at number 28, the biggest drop in today's video, Josh Lowe of the Tampa Bay Rays. I can't believe how bad Josh Lowe was last year, and listen, part of the reason why is just injuries. He can't really stay healthy, but he has been a complete shell of himself since that 2023 season, where he was incredible, had a breakout year, but it's gotten worse and worse, and last year was by far the worst year of his career. 108 games, 11 homers, 21 doubles, 40 RBIs, stole 18 bases, hit 220 with a 283 on base, 366 slug for a 650 OPS plus 81. He was horrible in the outfield too. Just nothing really went right for Josh Lowe, and it's kind of terrifying. So I sadly did have to drop him a bit. It was a shockingly bad year, but I still have just the tiniest bit of hope. Coming in at number 27, I've got Griffin Conine of the Miami Marlins. I actually like Griffin Conine. I want to see a little bit more before I really bump him up, but he does a lot of the things that kind of Kyle Stowers did when he had his breakout. So circle Griffin Conine right now. I think he could be next year's Kyle Stowers. Reason being, exit velos, crazy. He had one of the hardest hit balls in all of Major League Baseball last year, 117.4 miles an hour. And in the very small sample size he played, the barrel rate was through the roof. Now, he does swing and miss a lot, but he doesn't chase, which tells me that he's swinging at pitches in the zone. Just need to see a little bit more. Again, in the field, still a little bit iffy about what we're going to get. There are holes in his game, which again, why he's going to be towards the bottom of the list, but just keep an eye out for him. He could be a sneaky player for the Marlins in 2026. Just missing on the top 25, at number 26, I've got George Valera of the Cleveland Guardians. Valera finally made his debut. We've been hearing about this guy forever. It was interesting. He played 16 games at the end of the season, 2 homers, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs in those games, 220 average, 333 on base, 415 slug for a 748 OPS plus at 107, but it's a small sample. That doesn't really stabilize at all. That's like a good half a month of games. I think Valera's going to be really patient at the plate. He's going to get on base. I don't know how much better than league average he ever will be as a hitter or fielder, which is why I'm kind of putting him in this top 25 range. Another one of these right fielders we just need to see more of. Getting the top 25 start at number 25, I've got Jack Caglione. Really bad year, and I think we almost have to ignore it, because one, he clearly wasn't ready at the plate, along with having to learn to play the outfield for seemingly the first time in his career. He was horrendous out there defensively, got better towards the end of the season, but it's crazy he's not just a DH, especially when they were asking him to hit major league pitching after having such little time in the minors. Don't really love how the Royals handled it. Still, he does everything that you'd want out of a former top 10 pick in the draft. Hits the ball extremely hard. The ceiling is super high. Like, he is a freak. Despite how bad his offensive numbers were, he still barreled the ball at a crazy rate. It's just hard to rank him any higher when his slash slash line is 157, 237, 295, and 532. This might be a little higher than he deserves, but that's just because I believe in Jack Cagg moving forward. He just can't be as bad as he was last season. There was a lot going on. And of course, defensively, he was so bad. For the 24th best right fielder in Major League Baseball, let's head out to the nation's capital for Dylan Cruz. Ah, man, I'm just similarly waiting for the breakthrough for this guy. The former number 2 overall pick in the 2023 MLB draft has just kind of struggled at the majors, hasn't been able to get it going, dealt with injuries last year that kept him off the field, but even when he got consistent playing time, still just never looked comfortable. In 85 games, hit 208 with a 280 on base, 352 slug for a 631 OPS plus at 79, 10 homers, 8 doubles, 2 triples, 27 RBIs. He did steal a ton of bags. He's an awesome athlete, and I think he will be a good defensive outfielder, but still, until we see it, can't rank him higher. Not going to rank on the hype. Coming in at number 23, newly acquired Philadelphia Phillies right fielder Adolis Garcia. Man, what a weird season. At least Adolis went back to being a better right fielder defensively than he was the prior year, but still, we're now going on like nearly 1,200 plate appearances of him having a sub 100 OPS plus, an OPS below 700, an on base at 278, a slug below 400. Still going to hit you about 20 homers a year, 20 doubles, drive in 80, which is good from a counting numbers perspective, but the slash line stuff's bad. And as he's getting older, I just wonder how much he's got left in the tank after these injuries. Nothing major, but it definitely has made a little bit of an impact on him. If there was ever a place he'd get back to his old form, it's going to be Philadelphia. That place is awesome to hit in, especially compared to Texas, but yeah, very disappointing. Down 11 spots from last year here at number 23. Newcomer to the list at number 22, I've got Cam Smith of the Houston Astros. Very weird season for Cam Smith. Kind of made the major league roster unexpectedly, and it really is a tale of two seasons. Second half was horrendous. It was a nightmare for Cam Smith. Finished with a 489 OPS in the second half, where in the first half it was 765. He was way better at home than he was on the road. Crushed left-handed pitching, didn't really hit right-handed pitching. Feels like a platoon player right now, but he is still so young, and there are good signs with Cam Smith in his game. Like, he seems comfortable in the outfield despite not really being an outfielder in college, and things to get excited about at the plate. He walked about a league average amount. His bat speed is good. He has a can of an arm, and he's a great athlete. So I think it might just be a getting comfortable situation for Cam Smith. I can't imagine he's going to be bad, but last season was, so I do have to keep him outside the top 20. And then just missing on the top 20 at number 21, I've got Victor Robles of the Seattle Mariners. I mean, we all knew he wasn't going to play like he did in 2024, right? Of course, dealt with injuries, only played 32 games this season. They weren't good. Shocker. He kind of went back to the old hitting Victor Robles. 245 average, 281 on base, 330 slug for a 611 OPS plus at 77. Truthfully, he's really there to be more of a fourth outfielder. I don't think he should be your everyday guy in right field. The sample was extremely small last year, but it was more of the kind of player he's been in the past than he was in the small sample of 2024 with Seattle. Still, I do think he's a borderline top 20 guy, so just missing out. Getting the top 20 started at number 20, I've got Noelvi Marte of the Cincinnati Reds. Weird season for Noelvi. Had a couple months where he was great, had a bunch of months where he was almost unplayable. The summer, July, August, he was fantastic, and then all the other months he was bad. I think I just like the underlying stuff with Noelvi Marte a little bit more than some of the guys behind him, and he showed that he's capable in right field, which is, again, big for a guy who's never played it. I'd love to see what happens for Noelvi in a full season in Cincinnati, because so far in the 360 plate appearances we saw last year, 14 homers, 17 doubles, 51 RBIs with 10 stolen bases, hit 263 with a 300 on base, 448 slug for a 748 OPS plus at 99. Just could be better, but isn't bad, if that makes sense. That's around top 20 value. Next up at number 19, I've got Wenzel Perez of the Detroit Tigers. Nice season from Wenzel. I like it. Maybe a harsh rating, but I think it's pretty fair. 100 games last year, 13 homers, 17 doubles, 4 triples, 43 RBIs, hit 244 with a 308 on base, 430 slug for a 738 OPS plus at 103. Defensively in right field, played the position well. 4 OAA in the 100 games he played, put him inside the top 10 of all right fielders. I don't know what Wenzel's plan is for the future with this team. It seems like they would be okay with upgrading right field, but he's really not a bad option. Good arm, decent enough athleticism, puts the ball in play a ton. That's Wenzel's game, and that gets him ranked at number 19. Coming in at number 18, I've got Lars Nootbaar of the St. Louis Cardinals. It feels like he's going to be traded before opening day, so who knows if he's even going to be on this team, but right now, Nootbaar projects to be the right fielder for this roster. Last year, not good with the bat at all, below league average, but again, that team is so weird. He basically did the same stuff he did in prior years, just in more plate appearances, so that's why the OPS is lower, the slug's lower. Still got on base at a decent clip, still puts the ball in play, is a good outfielder, just seems like kind of a two-win player. Unless there's more in there, Lars Nootbaar is going to be floating around this middle of the pack. That's kind of where it goes. Like 13 homers, 24 doubles, 48 RBIs, a 700 900 OPS. That's the kind of player he is, or at least has been. Maybe he gets the leaving the Cardinals bump for those outfielders like Randy and Adolis Garcia and everybody else who's ever left them. We'll see in this offseason. Okay, aggressive ranking here. At number 17, I've got Dylan Beavers of the Baltimore Orioles. Love Dylan Beavers out of the draft. One of the last picks of the first round, had a great career at the University of California, and finally got a shot at the major league level last year and was super impressive. In 35 games, Beavers hit 4 homers, 5 doubles, a triple, and 14 RBIs. Hit 227 with a 375 on base. Love that. 400 slug, 775 OPS, OPS plus at 120. Doesn't chase, walked a ton. Decent enough bat speed, decent enough barrel rate. I'm not sure if he's going to be an elite right fielder, but this is a guy who, with that on-base ability and that plate discipline, along with good swing decisions and pretty good bat-to-ball skills, that can be a very valuable player. Can't wait to see a full season of it. Right about the halfway point here at number 16, I've got Anthony Santander of the Toronto Blue Jays. I think everyone can agree that Santander had a nightmare season last year. Dealt with injuries, was horrible before that, came back for the postseason, struggled, left off the World Series roster. Blue Jays might have won a World Series if Santander was healthy. 54 games last year, 6 homers, 5 doubles, 18 RBIs, hit 175 with a 271 on base, 294 slug, 565 OPS. That's not the player he is, but at the same time, if you're going to play him in the outfield, that's going to hurt his value because defensively he's bad. And at the plate, probably not a 130 OPS plus guy anymore. Probably like 10 to 15% better than league average safely. So to me, that's a middle of the pack right fielder. Show me he can get it done, Toronto. Happy to bump him up more, but last season was shockingly bad, and this might even be a generous rating based on that. Still, got to put him here right in the middle of the pack. Get the top 15 start. At number 15, I've got Brian Reynolds of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Not a good year for Reynolds at the plate. He is still a good hitter, though. I just think it's an outlier. OPS plus was below 100 for the first time since 2020. Basically the first time in his entire career. 16 homers, 38 doubles, 3 triples, 73 RBIs. Hit 245 with a 318 on base, 402 slug for a 720 OPS. He had no protection in that lineup. There was no reason to pitch to him. I think as the Pirates hope to get better next season, you could see Brian Reynolds return to his old form. He's not the greatest defensively in right field, but he is a good athlete with a strong arm and hits the ball decently hard. Like, I like Brian Reynolds, just needs to have a bounce back season. Actually hit the hardest ball of his career last year, 113.5. Keep an eye on that. Next up at number 14, I've got Teoscar Hernandez of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Truthfully, for any other team, Teoscar would be a DH, but because the Dodgers have Shohei Ohtani, Teoscar moves to right field. Now, is he great out there? Oh no, he's one of the worst defensive right fielders in the game. But that's not why you have him. You have him because he mashes, and while he didn't mash at the same level he did in 2024, still decent enough to be inside the top 15. 25 homers, 29 doubles, 89 RBIs. Hit 247 with a 284 on base. That's the kind of scary part. 454 slugging for a 738 OPS, OPS plus a 103. Just didn't get on base. It's really that simple. Teoscar's still a good ball player, but putting him in right field definitely hurts his value, sadly. Exact same spot as last year, weirdly. At number 13, I've got Matt Wallner of the Minnesota Twins. Matt Wallner, play a full season challenge. He played the most games of his career last year at 104, 22 homers, 16 doubles, 40 RBIs. The power is ridiculous with this dude. 202 average, 311 on base, 464 slug for a 776 OPS, OPS plus at 110. Wasn't as good as the prior years, but last year was weird for the Twins. Great athlete, not the greatest in right field defensively, but I do love the bat, and I think it's going to make a lot of noise next season now that he's kind of the guy in that lineup. I really hope we get a full breakout season of Matt Wallner here at age 28. Weirdly, kind of older than you expected. Still, I'm a Wallner believer. Moving outside the top 10, unfortunately, at number 12, I have Lawrence Butler. I thought last year was going to be a real breakout for him. I thought we were going to see him be even better than he was in 2024, and unfortunately took a step back with the bat. I'm not going to say it was a bad year for Butler, just had higher expectations, which is why he dropped out of the top 10. 152 games, 21 homers, 30 doubles, 63 RBIs with 22 stolen bases. Hit 234 with a 306 on base, 404 slug for a 710 OPS, OPS plus at 96. While in center field didn't grade the greatest, in right field, he was one of the better right field gloves. So I like Lawrence Butler still. I expect him, again, to bounce back. He is really talented. Just couldn't put him inside the top 10. Because just outside the top 10, at number 11, I've got Sal Frelick of the Milwaukee Brewers. Could play center field. He's that good of a glove. He might do it, but I'm going to put him in right field for my rankings. Frelick really improved at the plate last year. He had been a slap hitter for pretty much his entire career, and we saw a little more power last year. That slugging percentage getting into the 400s is so huge for his value. 12 homers, 20 doubles, 3 triples, and 63 RBIs with 19 stolen bases. That's a great year from Frelick, who's going to give you premier defense in the outfield. 288 average, 351 on base, 405 slug for 756 OPS and an OPS plus at 111. Frelick also can kind of like play everywhere. He got an inning at first base and third base last year too. Just a really good ball player. It's a nice season for him. Getting the top 10 start at number 10, I've got Brandon Nimmo, now of the Texas Rangers. Ugh, that like hurt my heart to say. But hey, Nimmo, still good. He might not be the on-base king that he used to be, which is why he's getting a little bit lower on these rankings than normal. But the power stuff looked better than it ever had in his career: 25 homers, 27 doubles, 92 RBIs. He stole bases again, which is great. 13 stolen bases. Hit 262 with a 324 on base, 436 slug for a 760 OPS plus at 114. Just a straight up solid baseball player. I think the Rangers got a good one. Wishing the best for Brandon out in Texas. Coming in as the 9th best right fielder in Major League Baseball, I've got Seiya Suzuki of the Chicago Cubs. Suzuki actually played a decent right field last year. Took over a lot when Kyle Tucker got injured. Graded out completely fine. And of course, Seiya mashes. This position's just loaded. In 151 games, hit 32 homers, 31 doubles, 103 RBIs. God. 245 average, 326 on base, 478 slug for an 804 OPS plus at 130. One of the most underrated hitters in the game. Let's throw some respect on Seiya Suzuki's name. This dude's a dog. Big Seiya fan. Up 6 spots. One of the biggest risers in today's video. At number 8, I've got Wilyer Abreu of the Boston Red Sox. Simply put, Wilyer is a dang good ball player. Plays phenomenal defense out in right field. Has an absolute rocket of an arm. And he can hit really well. 22 homers, 17 doubles, 69 RBIs. Nice in 115 games. 247 average, 317 on base, 469 slug, or 786 OPS plus at 116. Just gotta stay healthy, but over a full season, you're looking at a guy who could be a 4.5 to 5 win player. He's just that good. We stand Wilyer in this house. Feels crazy to say this, but at number 7, I've got Mike Trout. I feel like Mike Trout's gonna play mostly right field this year. Kinda need him to not be the DH. And while I still have belief that Mike Trout is really good, he wasn't like amazing last year. He's gonna be 34. Let's see what version we get. I think 7 is kind of a fair spot now for the older version of Mike Trout who gets hurt all the time. Played in 130 last year, 26 homers, 14 doubles, 64 RBIs. Hit 232 with a 359 on base, 439 slug for a 797 OPS plus at 121. Apparently, Mike Trout was really worried about hitting 400 home runs last year. He was pressing, he struggled a lot, and as soon as he did finish the season really strong. Granted, it's only 6 games, but like that was the old Mike Trout we saw. He was absolutely crushing baseballs. So maybe he's going to completely bounce back at the plate, and honestly, I believe it. I'm just now concerned about him playing the outfield again. Guy's got bad muscles and bones. But this is one of the greatest players I've ever watched play baseball. I still think this version of him is a top 10 right fielder, no doubt, and I would love to be wrong and see Mike Trout somehow return to his MVP form in 2026. That would be really cool to see, and I think Angels fans deserve it. Just missing out on the top 5 at number 6, I've got Fernando Tatis Jr. of the San Diego Padres. Fernando, he's so good. It's so funny. He's turned into a dynamite right fielder, won another Gold Glove out there, and he's still hitting really well. It's not where he was before the PED suspension, but it's still really good, especially when you consider the glove and the base running, all of it. He's a complete player. 25 homers, 27 doubles this year, 71 RBIs with 32 stolen bases, played 155 games. That's sick. Hit 268 with a 368 on base, 446 slug for an 814 OPS plus at 125. 8th in the MVP voting. He's one of the best players in baseball. Fernando is dang good, but he's just outside the top 5. Right field is loaded with talent. It's crazy. Because truthfully, ever so slightly better. At number 5, I've got Kyle Tucker. Not signed to a team currently. Where do you think he'll sign? Let me know in the comment section. While Tucker is not nearly as good of a fielder as Fernando Tatis is in right field, I do think he is just a straight up better hitter. And last year in 136 games, while the counting numbers weren't the highest, 22 homers, 25 doubles, 73 RBIs, he did steal 25 bases. He walked almost as many times as he struck out, a 266 average with a 377 on base, 464 slugging for an 841 OPS plus at 143. The last 2 seasons in like 200 games, he's been like nearly a 10-win player. He's just really good. I can't believe he hasn't signed yet and how people are, I think, underrating him on the free agent market. This is clearly like a top 20 player in the game. He's so good. Or at the absolute worst, top 25. Coming in as the 4th best outfielder in Major League Baseball, I've got Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Atlanta Braves. Only reason he doesn't crack the top 3, I don't know if he's going to be the same version of Acuna that we saw back in 2023. Blew out his knee again, came back, played 95 games. They were awesome. He is clearly going to mash. There's no doubt he is going to be one of the premier OPS plus guys in the entire game. The OPS was at 935, on base over 400, slug at 518. Like, the numbers are going to be gaudy. If he runs again, which maybe he will in 2026, bang, right back to the top. But with the poor defense because of the knee and not running as much, he just isn't in the top 3 for me just yet, but still, in those 95 games, 21 homers, 12 doubles, 42 RBIs. Stole 9 bags. That's good. It's not the same level. I'm scared about the knee, but while he's healthy, appreciate him because, man, he is a really special player. And he'll probably hit like 35, 40 home runs next year and have an OPS at 900 again because he's that good. Up a few spots here at number 3, Corbin Carroll of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I think we got to throw some respect on his name. We knew what the problem was in 2024. It was recovering from the shoulder injury. And from the second half of 2024 till right about now, Corbin Carroll has been been one of the most valuable right fielders in baseball not named Aaron Judge. Last season, 143 games, 31 homers, 32 doubles, 17 triples, 32 stolen bases. That's insane. Just think about that. 30, 30, 30, and he also hit 17 triples, 84 RBIs, hit 259 with a 343 on base, 541 slug, an 883 OPS plus at 140, finished 6th in the MVP voting. He is, according to OAA, the best defensive right fielder in the game with 9 OAA last season. This is the complete package. Corbin Carroll is ridiculously good. One of the best players in baseball, hands down. Just missing out the number 1 spot. Again, at number 2, I've got Juan Soto of the New York Mets. Oh, that feels so good to say. Love saying he's on the Mets. It's so cool. Soto arguably had one of the best seasons of his career last year, and somehow the Mets still missed the playoffs. Finished 3rd in the MVP voting for the 2nd straight season. 43 homers, 20 doubles, 105 RBIs, and yes, Juan Soto tied for the National League lead in stolen bases at 38. He also walked the most in Major League Baseball at 127. A 263 average, 396 on base was the highest in the National League. 525 slug for a 921 OPS plus at 160. He's god-awful in right field, and nobody cares. Similarly to Acuna, you hit like these guys, it doesn't matter. So yeah, Juan Soto, one of the best players in baseball, top 10, maybe even top 5, and the 2nd best right fielder. Because coming in at number 1, of course, it's going to be Aaron Judge, arguably the best player in Major League Baseball, and I think if we're talking about straight up hitter, it's not a debate. He is the best hitter in baseball. We're seeing him go now on a 4-year stretch where he might be the best right-handed power hitter ever over a 4-year stretch. These are his 4-year averages, guys, by the way. In 4 seasons, he's hit 210 home runs, has a 311 batting average, 439 on base, 677 slugging, with an OPS at 1117. OPS plus a 209. He is 109% better than the league average hitter over a 4-season stretch. What are we talking about? He won his 3rd MVP in 4 seasons. He hit 50 home runs again, led the American League in walks, scored the most runs, had the best slash line in all of baseball, 331, best in baseball, 457 on base, best in baseball, 688 slug, best in baseball, 1144 OPS, best in baseball, 215 OPS plus. This guy's so good, and he's good in the outfield. And even if he wasn't, I don't care. Aaron Judge could crawl to a baseball. It wouldn't matter. He could throw the ball in left-handed. It doesn't matter. This guy is unbelievably good. Clearly number 1 right fielder in the league. So there they are, my right field rankings. Let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. It really does help support what I do. And of course, most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. You can follow me on all my social media. GiraffeNeckMarc links are in the description. That's where I'll wrap it up. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this because it is the most recent upload of my 12 days of MLB rankings, and this will be a link to the playlist. If you have not yet seen any of them, click through them. You don't want to miss them. Thank you guys so much. As always, I'll catch you tomorrow for, I think we'll do DH rankings tomorrow. Yeah, let's rank DHs. See you then. Bye.